Hello there. So good to be back with you again. So today I wanted us to practice our skills and toolbox building around coping with challenging circumstances and perhaps uncomfortable emotions. They happen, yes? So I want us to maybe practice at times when we are not as reactive and we're not worked up to know what those resources are. Those are your internal skills and knowledge to access so that when things do come up for you, you are more able and aware to tap into those things because you've given them some thought, maybe you've practiced them, and so they're at your fingertips to utilize. Okay, so why? So awareness. There's so much that we do as humans that is just, we're on automatic pilot. A lot of our thinking and behaving is automatic. So it takes then a slowing down and a very intentional practice of awareness for us to then be able to respond in a way that's skillful for us. So today, let's talk about inner resource building. Yeah. So today I want to talk a little bit about using anchors. So anchors can be a number of different things that help to bring you back to a sense of ease, to a sense of safety, to a sense of what is true in this moment in time. Remembering, as I've brought this up before as an analogy, that thoughts, emotions, pleasant and unpleasant, are like weather systems, that they move through us. And the statement of what resists persists, particularly when it comes to things that are uncomfortable or if they evoke distressing emotions in us. We literally, cellularly remember that. It's all part and parcel of the way that we're wired. And there's evolutionary reasons for this, it's survival reasons, but maladaptive in many other circumstances where our safety is not actually directly threatened, it simply feels like it. Okay, so with that being said, if we know that it's true, that we automatically go into this survival mode, and it takes then a cognitive shift, how do we do it? So I've got some suggestions for you. So we can use a number again of the things that we are pre-wired to tap into, things such as finding safety and ease by physically connecting with our environment. And we can do that through using the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, where you are, for each of your 5 senses, identifying 5 things, 4 things, 3, etc. You can very intentionally, whether you're standing or sitting, ground your feet. And maybe even intentionally dig your heels in. I mean, feel them, to really give you a sense of, I am here in this place. There's also the capacity to use your senses, particularly when I chose this backdrop, when you need perspective. Get outdoors perhaps, lift your eyes to the horizon, as this helps to reset our minds and our nervous systems with perspective. And it helps to calm our sympathetic reactions to environment. It's part of the power of nature on our bodies and on our brains. We can absolutely also take time to acknowledge and name. There's a lot of power and feelings of self-efficacy and control that come with, this is what this emotion, anger, this is what this thought process, ruminating, whatever it may be, this is what this is for me. You name it, it's an awareness, and just in that, just in the process of slowing down long enough to recognize what is there, you're bringing some sense of awareness and control back to the situation. So again, naming the sensations, naming the emotions, naming the thought processes and the types of thinking that we're doing. We can also utilize, there's a technique that we utilize called self-soothing. And this is particularly useful when we are distressed or we are feeling fear for a number of different circumstances, or we're in pain. There's something that is evoking a real sense of sadness, grief, You will have to find the right space and way to do this, but for some, we have some pretty powerful nerve plexuses here over our heart and over our bellies. So maybe a hand on the heart, maybe two, hand on the heart, hand on the belly, both hands on the belly, or even just a gentle hug. These things are very soothing. Imagine, if you will, that whatever that distressing emotion or thought is, it's like a small child needing comfort, and you are the adult. So you move here into the more calm and wise mind to provide that distressed, fearful child within you, that thought, that emotion, some soothing. You may even choose to use words such as, "It's okay, it's okay," or "May I be at peace, may I be at peace, may I be happy, may there be less suffering, may there be less suffering." You can even really hold yourself gently as you would a child or someone else that you care about, and say, "It's okay, sweetheart, it's okay." It's just showing yourself some genuine tenderness and care in a moment where you are distressed. It will pass. Don't make yourself wrong. Don't judge, don't shame. Just be with it and allow it to move through you, and recognize in many ways these distressing sensations and emotions that come up can also morph when we allow them to. Anger can become compassion. Where there was grief, there can be a celebration of what is life. So these feelings can move and change when we allow them to teach us. But being with them can be really challenging, right? So the other that I want to make sure that we also think about is using our breath. And I know that I've brought this up before, but I think it's very powerful to use one of these or some combination of these to go ahead and bring us back. Whether you use a particular count, a longer exhale to tap into your parasympathetic nervous system, or simply bring yourself into the feeling of breath. So let's do a little practice, okay? You can just have your hands resting. Eye gaze can look down, or you can close your eyelids. And for just a moment, let's just practice coming into the physical space that we are and acknowledge the feeling of the breath, and notice where you are able to anchor yourself. Is it through the feeling of the breath moving into your nose? Feel the tickle of the air and the warming, and feel the warm air leave. Is it in your chest where it rises and falls? Is it deeper into your belly, and can you feel your belly soften and rise, gently settle and relax? So choose one of those as a breath anchor. Choose the pace that feels nourishing to you. With all of these, I strongly encourage you to try things on when you're experiencing something that's not overwhelming, but perhaps it's uncomfortable. Practice some things, see what works to help you be with that distressing emotion. Connect yourself to wise mind out of the fearful reactive spaces of our brains. And that then taps into all the other places of our bodies that want to help us through this and learn from it. So using body sensations, using grounding technique, using self-soothing, whether that's hands on belly and heart, or even just holding your hands in your lap, holding your hands. Maybe you say words that are really just care and comfort, and genuinely noticing that life sometimes is suffering, and you're not alone. I find that's another phrase that's really useful. You are not alone. You're not alone in this. Others have felt this too. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. You can tell I've said that before, huh? Those are my words. When I'm feeling particularly distressed, something comes up that I'm very angry, sad, whatever it may be, I often find that placing a hand on my heart, a hand on my belly, and saying, it's okay, it's all right, it's all going to be fine, I'm okay, be at peace, be at peace, you're not alone. It just helps me to center that in this moment, this is hard, but not everything in my life is hard. It's just these sensations and these thoughts and feelings are hard, and it'll be okay. So to leave you with a little quote, this is from James Thurber. Let us not look back in anger, nor forward in fear, but around in awareness. So with that, build your toolbox. This is part of resiliency building. This is us taking back control of our brain, of our body, when we are experiencing uncomfortable and distressing sensations, emotions, experiences. Learn to work with those, and so that you can not literally flip your lid and not stay in a space of controlled response. I wish you successful toolbox building and some positive journeying through this life of ups and downs that we're in. You got this. You do. And you are not alone. You most definitely are not alone. With that, have a beautiful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.